with office hours potentially. But anyway, welcome to office hours. Really cool to see quite a few of you here already. Very, very welcome. My name is David. I am the owner and editor and writer, publisher, whatever, of How to Write for a Living. I'm a solopreneur stack and David McElroy fiction. If you're here today, you're very welcome to ask any questions you might have about Substack, about writing, about solopreneurship, about me personally, about the kind of things I'm working on. Anything that you've come across in my content recently, here on Substack or on YouTube or my podcast, wherever it is you might have come across me previously. Do feel free to ask a question about any of that. Just pop it into the comments as I spend this bit of time here with you today. And I'll do my best to answer them if I can. But yeah, again, you're very, very welcome. It's really cool to see so many people here. I'm not really sure what's going on with this, if there's a bit of a glitch today, because normally I have maybe 10% of these numbers that are joining us here. So this is interesting. It's a little bit different. But yeah, tell me where you're from. So if you're here and you're joining me and you've come on to office hours before, you know how this works. Apologies for my dog barking in the background, by the way. But feel free to ask a question in the comments. Tell me where you're from. Tell me what you're working on. Tell me maybe a milestone that you have come across or you've achieved recently to do writing or publication or whatever it is you're working on. So I will be here for the next maybe 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. Going to keep it quite short today. So please make the most of this time. I'm available for you as my subscribers to answer some questions. Just spend this time with you now. But yeah, it's great to see so many people here. So I wanna pitch something to you guys. So I had this idea earlier whenever I was out and about driving in my car, which is usually the best time to get good ideas. I wondered if you might find it interesting if I did a sort of like read along kind of thing with my first book. So this is my first book. If you can see it, The Soulburn Talisman. This is my young adult fantasy novel. If you like things like Chronicles of Narnia, Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Percy Jackson, that kind of stuff, I think you'll like that book. It's for younger people, but adults will definitely enjoy it as well. It's not a long read, it's not a difficult read, and it's clean and it's fun. So if you like magic, if you like monsters, if you like adventures for younger people, that's a good read. So what I was thinking about doing with that is potentially I will read back through the book myself. So I'll read a chapter at a time, and then I'll share a video either here or on TikTok or YouTube, basically to share my thoughts on that chapter as if I haven't read it myself in a long time. Obviously, I'm taking inspiration for this from rewatch podcasts, things like Office Ladies or Fake Doctors, Real Friends, that kind of stuff, where people who were on shows, who were on sitcoms, basically watch back through the sitcom again afresh, and then just share some thoughts on it and some banter around it. So I thought it might be kind of interesting if I went back through one of my books, read it afresh myself because I haven't read it in a long time, and then just kind of share my thoughts on each chapter as I go through it, share things I liked, things that maybe I wish I'd done differently potentially, or just things that jumped out at me while watching that or reading it again, should I say. If you think that'll be interesting, that's the kind of thing you might find helpful from like an author's perspective and reading their own work again and then sharing their thoughts on it. Let me know in the comments or give me one of the little heart symbols if you think that's a good idea. If not, that's okay, but I think I might try anyway and just sort of see how it goes. But yeah, if you like that idea, definitely let me know. That's a first quick thought. Dee is joining me from California. You're new to Substack, very welcome. The Wayfarer it just started writing and you're from Nigeria. We're great to have you here as well. But yeah, again, if you are joining me here at the minute, please do remember to share some thoughts, some questions you might have about Substack. If you are new to Substack, like Dee is, ask any questions that you might have about the platform, about writing, about working for yourself, about business, about how to combine things like YouTube and LinkedIn and Substack together into an ecosystem. If you have any questions about that, I'm here to answer that at the minute. So the first thought was about my book. I'm doing that rewatch or reread kind of thing. And then I want to just share a few quick thoughts about ways that you can put an offer in front of your free audience as part of your paid tier. So basically, how do you monetize your Substack publication, even if you have a very very small audience? I want to talk about this in more detail in an article or a video, maybe at some stage, or a podcast episode. But I just want to give you a few quick ideas because a lot of people ask this question, and a lot of my coaching clients ask this kind of question as well. How do I make money from Substack if I have a very small audience? How do I pitch them an offer, if I've only got a few subscribers or a few hundred subscribers? So I'm going to give you three ways that I think that anybody can do this, even if you've got a small audience. Again, if you're joining me, tell me how many subscribers you have in your publication right now. So feel free to pop that into the comments as I share this, and ask any questions about what I'm going to say as well. So tell me what your publication is, how many subscribers you've got, and maybe ask any questions. So the first way that I think that anybody can monetize their publication, even if you have a small audience, and it's the most obvious answer, is to go back and paywall your existing free content, or some parts of your existing free content. And what I mean by that is go back to articles that you wrote that were well received, maybe pick up some traction on Substack organically, and consider putting a paywall at the start of those pieces, or maybe halfway through. Maybe update them a little bit, maybe put a new headline on them, a new feature image, maybe add some more text or more content to them. But pick your pieces with the most traction and go back and paywall them. And then, in order to get them in front of your audience again, link to those newly paid pieces in your free content that's new, that comes out. So maybe write an article that's related to that thematically, to that paid piece, send it out as a free piece, and then at some point in that free piece, link people back to your paid content. Make it an obvious next step. If you find this useful, I touch on a different aspect of it in this piece, or I go deeper into this piece, or into this topic in this paid article. Make it seem like a natural next step for your free subscribers to want to go deeper with you and then pay for your content. And I think anybody can do that. I think as long as you have some content on your publication, you can definitely generate some income from your free subscribers upgrading to paid. So that is a first step that you can take. I'm just going to quickly check about questions. So Dr. Martina Keast says that you're joining me from New Sarepta in Alberta, Canada. I hope I said that right. I've been to Alberta, Canada myself. I love it so much. It's beautiful. The Wayfarer says, I don't know how to start making money off of writing in general, but I really enjoy writing. I'm currently writing for a finance blog, but the pay is just $100 monthly. Obviously you can definitely maybe try to get more freelance work around that to beef that up a little bit. But it's good that you've got work, and that's really cool. You're writing for a finance blog, so hope that goes really well for you. And yeah, hope you can find more work to sort of add on to that. But that's really cool. Again, if you're just joining me, because there's a crazy number of people here, I don't know what's going on today, but feel free to ask questions, feel free to leave comments as I'm speaking, and I will try to answer them if I can. So the first way to monetize your Substack publication with a small audience is to go back and paywall some of your best free content and make it paid, and then link to that in your free post. So send people naturally back to that. The second thing that you can try is to create a community around your publication. So, what I mean by that is, can you host a once a month Zoom session for your paid subscribers where everyone gets to meet up as part of like a mastermind session where maybe you're delivering some sort of teaching, or just a chance to meet and do like a bit of a roundtable and share ideas and get feedback and collaborate together. I know that having that kind of ongoing support and accountability can be so important as a writer and a creator. And I really do think that if you can create that space for your paid subscribers, that's something that's of extremely high value, I think. So can you use like a once a month Zoom session? Can you create like a Slack space or a Telegram chat space or a WhatsApp group, whatever you can do to kind of give your subscribers a chance to interact with you and with each other? Then that's a great way to go. So if you have any kind of publication where accountability would be a really high value factor to that. So maybe it's fitness. Maybe you've got people as part of your publication trying to get fitter or lose weight or just improve their diet. Having accountability with other people will be so useful in that regard. So definitely consider as a second option creating a community for your paid subscribers. Obviously, you can use the chat thread space on Substack as well as part of that. But I think if you can create something externally, maybe you have more control over, that's always really helpful. Um, Autumn Day says, I love your name. Says, thank you. I'm happy to be here with you all. Thank you, David, for your presence and insights. You're very welcome. My publication is On the Day Came, Power of Community, Sharing Our Gifts, Living with Purpose, Generosity of Spirit. 12 current subscribers. That's great. A really good start, Autumn. Yeah, it's just great to start, isn't it? It's great to get going with your publication and start that process. So I hope you can continue growing that and definitely let me know how that goes. If you have any questions about how to grow it, feel free to ask those now or in another office hour session as well. Okay, so first of all, paywall some of your free content and link back to it in your new free posts. Secondly, create a community around your publication. And thirdly, and this is a really, I think, effective way to bridge the gap between your free subscribers who need more help and potentially a coaching offer. So like your higher ticket offer for your Substack publication. Offer a 30-minute one-on-one Zoom call with you for all new paid subscribers, potentially just for annual subscribers because it's a higher value thing. But if you've got a small audience and you can afford to take the time to offer every new paid subscriber 30 minutes of FaceTime with you to answer their questions, to go deeper into the topic, maybe that you presented in your free piece. Um, I personally think that's extremely high value. I think that's the kind of thing that if I'd come across when I started on Substack, if someone had been offering that kind of option where I could just speak to them directly, have my questions answered, go deeper into a topic, rather than having to go through a lot of content and try and find the answer. If you could sort of skip past that and fast forward to getting the answer directly from the writer, I think I would have found that really useful. So even if you have a small audience, and I'm talking a few dozen subscribers, and maybe a few hundred subscribers, whatever, you can definitely offer that as a natural bridge for free subscribers to connect with you, get some answers, and then maybe if they want to connect with you on a more ongoing basis, you can point them towards a community that you have. You can point them towards some of your older paid content, or you can offer them a coaching package. You can say, you know what, if you want to work with me directly for a while, here are some options for how we can take that forward if the person's a good fit, if that's going to work for you and for them. So those are three ways that you can essentially pitch an offer to your audience on Substack, to your free subscribers, to encourage them to upgrade to your paid tier. Let me know if you have any questions about any of those things. So if you've been here, if you've been joining me, I don't know how there's 1,000 people here, by the way. I don't know what's going on with this. I don't think this is accurate, but you're very welcome to be here if you are, if you joined us here today. If you have any questions about monetizing your free content, feel free to pop that into the comments or tell me what you tried. Have you tried paywalling older pieces? Have you tried starting a community at any point in the past? Have you tried offering one-to-one access like I mentioned here? Feel free to pop that into the comments for the next few minutes while I'm here. It's great to see so many of you guys. Um, yeah, and something else that I've been touching on earlier this week was the idea that, well, maybe last week actually, was the idea that um, you're um, in the early stages of your growth, whenever you're starting out on Substack on your publication, you'll maybe feel frustrated that your growth is slow. You might see a very, very, very gradual rise in your subscriber numbers. And in the piece that I shared, you'll be able to find on my publication from a couple of weeks ago, or last week, I mean. I talk about why that's a really, really good time to experiment and to test things and to iterate new ideas because you've got a smaller audience. If things go wrong, it's okay. You can still get some feedback, you can still get some ideas from your current subscribers, but you can definitely spend that time experimenting, testing. I did that a lot at the start with my publication, just kind of tried things out to see how it would go. So if you're in that kind of early phase where growth is slow, lean into that, because there will be times in the future when your growth is faster, when your audience is bigger, and you can't really iterate and experiment and test things just as easily in that kind of environment without more eyes being on you and maybe drawing criticism or negativity, or maybe you pitch something and you lose a bunch of subscribers because of it, which is what happens whenever you've got a bigger audience, I'm afraid. But yeah, so if you are in that place with a smaller audience, I would say make the most of it, enjoy that time, experiment as much as you can, test out different offers, test out different ways of serving your audience best, and give them kind of a no-brainer offer what they can do from your paid tier as a natural next step to join your paid community. Um, Dr. Martina Case says, I'm not doing that yet. I think just based on what I said before, because I'm still working. I do plan to retire at the end of May and then want to be online only. Um, I'm offering a 10-part series based on chapters from my recovery textbook / workbook. I'm trying to get enough content to lay a foundation. That's really good. I like that. I think offering a series is always a really good way to go, to get people to stay within your Substack ecosystem longer and to kind of get more value from it. So yeah, I mean, congratulations on approaching retirement and having that freedom to maybe try new things. It's really, really cool place to be, I guess. And I hope that goes very well for you. If you have any questions about that, about how to operate a series or anything, then pop that into the comments as well while I'm here. But yeah, really cool idea, taking chapters from your book and sharing them onto Substack. Yeah, and I think the word foundation there is really key. I think with everyone, in terms of Substack, it's great to have a foundation when it comes to your audience or your content. If you can put out a bunch of maybe content from maybe another source like Medium, if you can bring that over to Substack or a blog or whatever, just to kind of flesh your publication out, so someone doesn't go there and then doesn't really see any reason to maybe upgrade because they can't see an awful lot of content there, or you might want to lay a foundation for your subscriber based audience by following people and just connecting with people and networking on Substack in the beginning, and just spending more time networking than anything else to try and just get that foundation in place to then build on after that. I think that's really, really key. But yeah, so cool to see you guys here. Again, apparently there's over 1,000 people here, which I'm dubious about, but I saw another person's live earlier that they had the same kind of crazy numbers. So I wonder what's going on. I'm not sure if this is the new normal for Substack, but it seems to just be today. So yeah, interesting. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up now. But just as a reminder, what I'm considering doing is a read along of my first book, The Soulburn Talisman, which you can buy anywhere you buy books, and it's for young adults, so like teenagers. But if you're an adult and you like that kind of stuff, if you've read that kind of thing in the past, or if you want a book to read with your kids that's clean and it's fun, and it's full of magic and monsters and adventure, old school kind of Chronicles of Narnia sort of stuff, I think you'll really enjoy The Soulburn Talisman and its sequel, Empress of Nim, which are both available anywhere you buy books. But what I'm planning on doing is a read along of that book where I'm going to read back through it like a rewatch podcast kind of situation, and then I'll share my thoughts on each chapter as I go, and just kind of see it from relatively fresh eyes because I haven't read it in a long time. I wrote it a long time ago, haven't read it in a long time, so it'll be quite interesting to read it again and see how I find it. If you think that's a good idea, then definitely let me know. Check that out. I'll probably share it onto Hey Pete. Cool to see you here. I'll probably share that on a TikTok, I think, because I think that's a good place to do that kind of thing, and maybe share the videos from that on the Substack so you guys can watch it, maybe on the YouTube as well. So gonna try that, see how it goes. Bit of an experiment. Not sure if it'll work or if I'll be able to stick to it, but I'll try it anyway and see what happens. So hope you find this useful today, guys. I will share this video onto YouTube as always, so that will probably be there by Friday, I think, and I'll share the link to that in the chat on my publications, so you'll be able to see it easily. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube if you haven't done that already. Just type in my name into the YouTube search bar, and you should be able to find my stuff. check out the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts and rate it if you can. I always love seeing ratings for that, so we know people are actually listening to it. And feel free to ask any questions under any of the previous podcast articles in the comments. If you have any questions that you want to see me address, or anyone maybe you want me to interview in future in any episodes as well. Really cool to get your feedback on that if I can. And yeah, thanks for joining me. It's really cool to see you here, and it's always nice to be here with you guys and share this time with you on office hours. So I'll see you again really, really soon on Substack, on YouTube, on my podcast. And thanks for joining me today. Bye bye.